Welcome back to part 4 of the senior panel. Now we're going to dive into kind of the real heady meat of the stuff, but let's try to keep our answers as short as possible. So let's start with this one. As you think of the next season ahead, how do you plan to stay connected to the church and to Jesus in the next season that comes as you hit college?
I plan to jump into the Christian ministries and surround myself with some close Christian friends and search for outreach opportunities where I go.
I'm planning on finding a church just like the first few weekends, every time going to a different one until I see what community I like and then going from there.
Perfect.
I've been looking at churches up there in Columbia, trying to figure out what would be a good fit for me.
So I'm assuming most of you have never had to choose a church before. So you get to go through the process of choosing a church for yourselves for the first time. Welcome to that aspect of adulthood, even too, of not having to go where your parents go.
Yeah. I actually had an assignment in my Bible class this year that deals like we had to actually go out and write and mark down all these specific things about 3 different churches. So I went to 3 different churches trying to choose, like deciding which one I would go to. So it was interesting. Mm-hmm. But I'd say even though I'm like, I don't want to say closest, but it could be true. I think it is true. Even though I'm the closest nearby, because I'm only, an hour away at Charleston Southern. I know that like the chapel services there are not only required, but they're amazing because there's a really cool band from the last time I went there for this camp tour. And I might even join the band there because
that'll be good.
Like to play drums. So yeah, and then but because I'm out of our way, I might even make the effort. I want to make the effort to come back to St. Andrews on Sundays, but we'll see.
We'll take you for it. So my challenge to all of you going away is don't go to one place, go to multiple, but also don't bounce around. And so once you have visited and see it, find a place and stay there. Don't bounce around or float around. That's the best advice I can give you. And then there are many, many ways that make a church good. There's not just one way that makes a church good. And it very well could look like what you grew up with, or it may not look like what you grew up with, and that's perfectly okay. But yeah, try it, experience it. But don't just keep bouncing around. You need something under your foot to be stable. So now even more rapid fire. If you could sum up in one sentence, a concise sentence, what did you learn in high school?
People.
People? What about people?
That's a word.
Like how different people react to different things and how you can fit yourself into a community best without having to compromise who you are as a person.
A lot of responsibility type aspects. Just becoming more responsible as a person.
I learned more of who I am and what's important to me.
I think I learned the importance of different people's views on a different well, whether it's an assignment at school or it's just the an idea, just like an idea for a school project.
I learned about the importance of people and how I really like a lot of different areas, but if I have great people, then that is more important in like where I choose to be.
So with that, in one sentence, one thought, we'll say, concise, controlled, how have you seen God move in your life during your years in high school?
It's sort of the same for me, but like just showing me who I am and like who he wants me to be, like how he's going to use me and stuff. Like his purpose in me.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it's been growing trust. And honestly, a lot of that has come in this weird season, if that's what we're calling it.
Yeah.
And just trusting that he knows better than you, I promise, of how to get through whatever you're going through. Or if you're at a high, then, hey, thanks for letting me have that experience. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That type of just growing in communication has been a huge thing.
Giving me a vision for like what I want in life, and like putting people in my life so like I can help them and they can help me. And
He's helped me grow as a person and a leader and know more about myself and how to stand firm in my faith.
I think he's really helped me realize and, spot or what's the word? Develop a conscience on what's the nice thing to do in this situation, or what can I do that goes a little out of someone's way to make their day a little better.
Mm-hmm. So I think we lost Elizabeth, so hopefully Elizabeth works her way back in. So, but with that even too, as we wrap this conversation up now to the practical, think through even like a junior in the audience or a sophomore, but really like somebody who's coming into high school from middle school. What piece of advice would you give a current high schooler or an incoming high schooler? Keep it short and tight.
cherish these moments because they go really quick.
Don't take it too seriously. Like some people get all caught up in the numbers and, oh, I'm this if I have this grade, and oh, I just failed a test, that must means that I suck. Well, no, you don't. You just didn't understand that as much. It's not as big of a deal as everyone would like you to think. Just calm down, breathe for a second, and then go figure it out, or go ask for someone for help, or go, hang out with your friends, or do whatever. Don't spend all your time thinking that it's the end of the world as you know it, if your high school math grade isn't a 100. I promise, 100%.
Yeah, I'd say in one quick little sentence is just give a little more. If you have the time, then go ahead and give a little more, whether it's an assignment or just a conversation.
Be wise and try to do the right thing, but also like have balance in your life of grace and friends and school and family and self-care, so you don't get burnt out, and you can put all the energy that you want to into what you truly care about.
Yeah. So with that,
Oh, one more thing. Huge thing. This is huge. This is big deal. Coffee saves lives.
I don't drink coffee.
I'm sorry, JH, but I have not gotten into coffee over the years.
Oh, you just wait, dude. College
but
is gonna rock your
it'll
world.
probably hit in college, but just that wasn't me.
oh, that's
Not
fun.
me.
So with that, then that's actually a decent segue, JH.
Listen, I'm telling you, man.
What? Now, this is the chance to get real vulnerable as we close. Is
Oh.
there anything that happened in high school, like let's say a mistake that you made, that you are willing to share publicly that
Dating too early.
you wouldn't have done? What was that, JH?
Dating too early.
What does that mean, or what did that look like?
All right, y'all. If you're going into high school as a freshman, I'm going to be straight up with you. You have no idea who you are. For one, who you are. Two, no one else around you knows who they are either. And three, if neither one of you know who you actually are, then that whole thing just ain't going to work. Also, you can't drive.
You can't have a girlfriend or boyfriend unless you
And-
drive.
And getting your parents to drive you to the movie theater is just weird. That's just a no-go. So give yourself a minute. Don't go boy crazy or girl crazy or whatever it is. That's not politically correct anymore, but I don't really care. Don't go wild the second that you walk through the doors of high school. Okay, I promise you have time. All right, just take it easy.
Mm.
That was my spiel.
That was a good rant, JH. That was a good rant.
Yeah.
Any other mistakes that you're willing to share for the good of an incoming freshman?
I have another one. I made tons of mistakes in high school.
Oh gosh, all right. Keep it short.
Actually, I just thought of one.
All right, go for it, Forrester.
One thing that I never got into, and I never really cared, and it might just be because of events that have happened in my life. But one thing, please don't get wrapped up about, because I know it's hard. It's like something that it's popularity just these days. I never
True
put
story.
myself in a role that I'm who I am, and I'm the new trend here, or I'm super popular because my hair is this way, or I really I could care less. So don't have too much of don't let that really define you.
Don't let public opinion define who you are as a person.
And actually, this isn't a personal experience. I'm just saying, well, it's a personal experience because I never experienced it. Like I did not think about popularity. I could care less.
Yeah, middle school is really like cliquey, and like there's different groups of people. But like in high school, no one cares. We're all just doing the same fight, like trying to work our way up the ladder. But
Yeah.
like high school, everyone's the same. It's not really cliquey.
Yeah. So don't worry about the new TikTok trends or whatever.
And what we're not saying is don't not care. Like obviously put forth some effort and care a little bit about, what, like take a shower. There's an idea. Wear deodorant, please, for God's sake. But don't, like we were saying earlier, don't let public opinion shape shape your personality.
Have your own
Right.
Please wear deodorant and take showers.
Please, for the
That's
love
not what
of
I was
God.
getting at.
Molly,
That's not.
do you
what
have
I was getting
anything to add to this before I cut these three yahoos off?
My mistake was putting too much time in school. That was like all I did. So don't do that. That's why I said have balance.
Take
So
breaks.
as we close,
Can I add one thing? One thing.
hang on. As
quick.
we close, I will give you a last second to talk. So as we close, is there one last thing that either we didn't cover or you still have itching in your boots that you want to impart to the high schoolers you are leaving behind? So it could be anything from an encouragement to wisdom to, I mean, who knows? The world is yours in this second. I'll give you each like 30 seconds to share the last thing on your brain that you want to impart onto our high schoolers before we say goodbye.
Go, JH, quick.
All right, I got 3 things, y'all. So that means that I got 10 seconds per thing. So I'm going to have to talk a little bit quicker, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so 1, plug yourself in. Find your group, find your people, find what makes you chill out from a long day of school, and so that you can relax and have a good time when you're not at school. Okay, 2nd is challenge yourself. Push yourself farther than you think that you can go so that you can grow in the long run. And that you'll learn more because you'll learn more about yourself and about the subjects that you're pushing yourself in. And then
More fun.
what was the 3rd one? Someone else go, I'll think of it. Hold on.
I would say just have a good time. Like our high school is a good time. It's a good part in your life, and everyone always, like, you hear parents saying, I remember back in high school, like, have a good time. Don't take it too seriously, but also do take it seriously. Like, just have good balance in your life and surround yourself with good people. Find hobbies and get good at them. Try to become active in your community. It's a really good thing to do, and it'll keep you occupied while having a good time. But just have a good time.
And having a good time does not always mean like parties and drugs and such. By the way, you can have a good time doing other things.
Listen, man,
Right?
my friend group and we used to seriously, I'm not even kidding, meet up at someone's house and play board games and drink Coke. Like, that is a good time. I'm telling you, y'all.
By the way, don't be surprised. Here we go. Don't be surprised if at some point when you first start high school that you kind of develop a little defiance against your parents, because that's perfectly normal. Because that definitely happened to me.
Thank you, Forster. You just reminded me of my
Don't
3rd thing.
sanction that behavior.
Don't
Yeah.
be rude. Don't blow your parents off. They seriously sat here and cared about you for 14 years. You're not allowed to do that. Like, that's just rude and wrong. Okay? But don't be afraid to leave the nest and spread your wings and fly. Like, that nature has literally designed us to do that. At some point you're going to have to. So if you do it little by little, it's easier to do it like for real when you have to leave for college, or when you're going to the military, or when you're starting your first job, or whatever it is. Don't be afraid to take those leaps and those chances, because more often than not, they're going to pay off in the long run.
Yes, but listen to your parents. Obey your parents.
Listen, your parents are there to help you in any way, so feel free.
Last word to get us back on track. Molly, last word. Anything that you are itching to add that you have not had a chance to add to this conversation?
So your worth is defined as a child of God, and you can have confidence in that, and you can be dependent on God but independent from the world, but still like loving those around you. And so don't just let God like drift out of your life because you're trying to do so many other things, because nothing will feel as fulfilling if you do. And so just make sure that you're still spending time with him, and that I feel like life is more fulfilling when you're doing things with a best friend by your side.
It's good. It's perfect. Well, these are our fantastic seniors for St. Andrew's Youth Ministry. Elizabeth's phone died, so she disappeared on this final part of the conversation. But if you are watching this and you know any of these 5 seniors, I encourage you to reach out, celebrate them, congratulate them, send them cards and gifts and money, lots of money, because that's what high school seniors enjoy the most. Don't send them a book of like poems or like
True story.
wise sayings or proverbs for the graduates. Don't do that.
If it's in between buying me a book and sending me the money that you're going to spend on the book, I'll let you make that decision. But
yeah, just take it from somebody who's done youth ministry for years. That book winds up in the bathroom or a closet and never gets opened.
It'll look great on my shelf.
So do the seniors a favor. Send them some cash to celebrate them and tell them they've done an incredible job and to help keep this slightly normal in the sense of the pause in the coronavirus that they have experienced at the end of their high school careers. We love our seniors.
Right.
I say this every year for the most part, but for the most part, it's true. You are my favorite class of seniors that I have had yet. And for the most part, I say that every year, but I really don't want to see you guys and gals go at all. I feel like I've only known you for a year, but I've been super grateful to know all of you for a year, and I'm excited to know you throughout college too. And remember that just because you are leaving Charleston potentially, or you are leaving St. Andrew's Youth Ministry, that does not mean your relationship to us ends, nor does it mean that your relationship to St. Andrews ends. And we always have your back. I always have your back. I am literally just a text or a phone call away. And that's the same whether it's 2 a.m. or 12 p.m. It doesn't matter. So seniors, thank you so much. Ellie is texting me like crazy because I have gone way past the time I told her I was going to go. But seniors, this is fantastic. I wish we could have done this in person. Say goodbye to everybody, seniors.
Bye, y'all. Have a good one.
And thank you for watching, everybody.